It's not only important to know that stories can really be powerful, but it's important to know how to tell a great story. The first thing you want to do when you're telling a story is describe what's called the inciting action. In other words, what kicks off the story? What motivated you as a person to maybe get involved in a ministry? Usually it's a moment in time or a conversation that you've had or a person that you know. One example I use that sometimes works, depending on the age of the audience, is the first movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Everyone seems to remember that movie. The opening scene is Indiana Jones is in a cave and he's trying to secure a statue. And as he pulls the statue off the pedestal, this giant boulder chases him down the way in the cave. Fortunately, he escapes, falls out of the cave. But waiting at the entrance of the cave is a Nazi who takes the statue from his hand. That's the inciting action that sets the whole movie in motion. So when we're communicating our stories, it usually begins with something. And it's important to take people back to that moment because then they can walk the journey with you as you unfold your story. The second thing that you want to do is communicate, what are you going to do about it? So something happens and you're going to have to respond in relationship to that inciting action. And the third thing is, if you're going to be involved in a particular ministry or mission to accomplish something, you want to communicate to people, what is it going to take for you to accomplish that? What resources are you going to need? Who needs to be involved? What talents are going to need to happen? Where are you going to have to travel to? All those things are important. So it's the inciting action. It's what are you going to do about it? What's it going to take? And then fourth, you want to make sure that people understand what role they can play in helping accomplish that. One of the best stories I see in the Bible regarding this is Exodus 35 and 36. It's when Moses talks about building the tabernacle. It starts with the inciting action that God commands them to do that. As a result, Moses goes to the people and he says, here's what we're called to do. Here's what it's going to take. Now you all go away and pray and come back as God moves your heart to decide how you're going to be involved. And that's the fifth thing. The last thing is, how can the person be involved? What can they do to be able to help you accomplish what God has done? So, what's the inciting action? What are you going to do about it? What's it going to take for you to accomplish that? And how can people be involved? Those are all elements that are very important. And if you step back and think for a moment, those are the best stories that you see on a movie screen or read in a book that help people get taken on the journey with you so that they can come into your story and be a part of it.